You'll hear me say something like, "And welcome back," and that will be your cue that we are live.
Absolutely. Okay. Sounds good.
1 minute and 40 seconds to be exact.
Great. And in the given context, are you going to be asking about specific majors or programs at Cornell, or specifically study abroad?
I mean, feel free to get as specific as you want, but I'll probably just pick it up as, why in general is study abroad important, and why is that something that deserves support.
Right. Okay.
We've done a number of crowdfunding projects for different study abroad opportunities, so it's something that seems to come up a lot in terms of having a need.
Absolutely.
Maybe a lot of people don't realize that a lot of students have to pay out of pocket usually for these experiences.
Right.
Ils sont courts parce qu'ils t'envoient le code, ils t'envoient pas la carte. C'est comme si.
Seconds.
Great.
All right, well, welcome back. We're jumping in here, interrupting the pre-recorded video we're watching because we were able to Tamar Law class of 2017 down in Madagascar. Tamar, how is it going this afternoon for you, I suppose? Or no, this morning, late morning.
It's the morning. Electricity is back on and the sun is shining, and it's a good morning here.
Yeah, I think the delay for getting you on here provides quite a bit of context for where you're at right now, because you emailed me and said, sorry, the power plant wasn't on yet.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience here, trying to find Wi-Fi as a quest in itself sometimes, and beyond that, even just electricity can be kind of hard to get. The power plant here is only operative certain hours of the day, and for some reason today, Tuesday, has different hours than normal, and I didn't realize that in advance. So,
well, Tuesdays, they're not Monday, but sometimes they have problems as well.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. And Tamar's camera may or may not turn on throughout this interview, but the important thing is that we can hear her. And we can hear some of the ambiance around you. Could you describe a little bit of where you're at right now?
Yes, absolutely. I'm in one of the old French colonial hotels within Manakara. It's on the east coast of Madagascar. It's a coastal city that's kind of known for its exportation, and you can probably hear somebody grinding coffee in the background. I'm in a cafe part hotel. And it's mainly French customers here, which I think speaks to kind of the French influence that's still active within Madagascar. And outside, you might be able to hear some kind of bustling, and that's the biking and the pousse-pousses, which are the people pulling people in carts going by. And you might start hearing some dogs in the future if they start making a riot. So it's a bustling place here.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I wouldn't mind a little bit of that ground coffee right about now. But still have a long haul to go. We're only 2.5 hours into Giving Day here.
Boy.
So. Well, again, thanks so much for making the time. I know internet and it would seem electricity is not always easy to come by for you. So thanks so much. Tell us a little bit about just kind of what you're studying at Cornell and how that led you to study abroad in Madagascar.
Absolutely. For me, it's a little bit of a complicated story. I started out at Cornell as a pre-vet student. I'm actually from Ithaca myself and grew up seeing the vet school and was kind of intrigued by animal-human interaction. So I decided that at Cornell I wanted to be pre-vet. And my second semester, my freshman year, I took an intro to feminist theory course through FGSS, the Feminist Gender and Sexualities program. And I realized for me that I was really interested in identity. And I had learned to think through a very specific framework within a largely biological science. And I was interested in kind of expanding into the humanities. And through that, and with the support of Professor Jeffer, one of the head professors of FGSS, I applied to the College Scholar Program, which is an interdisciplinary program that allows students to forge and create their own majors that cannot be done just through a simple double major. And it allows you to explore the strengths of interdisciplinary study. And through that, I've been able to kind of create my own course of study of anthrozoology and political ecology, drawing from anthropology, ecology, and feminist theory. And so my 2 years before, I'm a junior now, my 2 years before this, I studied French at Cornell. There's a great program for that. And the perfect place to study all my interests ended up, and also getting a chance to practice my language, ended up being Madagascar, which is where you find me now. And I'm in a program called Biodiversity and Natural Resource Management here, which is not through Cornell, it's through a program, SIT, the School for International Training. And through that, we are actually able to, the first about 10 weeks of the program is mainly experiential learning. So it's not exactly sit down in a lecture. It's something you don't really get on campus itself. I'm actually going to the different field sites. And then right now, actually, you find me, I'm by myself in the city of Manakara. I'm not with the program at all. And I've been here for 3 weeks. And I'm doing 3.5 weeks of independent field research for my honors thesis next year.
Well, sounds like you have plenty going on.
Yeah, it's kind of a hubbubaloo, huh?
Yeah, but I think that's great, and certainly that speaks to the founding vision of any study, considering you were able to kind of tailor your major a little bit and to create all these experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Cornell has done a lot to support me as an undergraduate student who is interested in undergraduate research. I'm part of the Rawlings Scholar Program, which provides funding and support and mentorship for students who are undergraduates looking to pursue research. And through that program and through College Scholar, I've really felt supported in exploring potentially non-conventional fields of study. And that, I think, really speaks to the founding virtues of Cornell as an institution, as a university.
Absolutely. And is studying abroad always something you knew you wanted to do upon entering Cornell?
Yes, absolutely. I've known that I've wanted to study abroad since since I came to Cornell. I'm actually from Ithaca myself. My mom's a professor at Cornell. Okay. And so my allowance of staying in the same hometown that I grew up in and I love so much was the fact that I had to at some point get out during my 4 years of undergraduate study. And ever since we had a graduate student live with us when I was younger who was from Madagascar. And ever since kind of growing up with him and talking to him, and through that connection, I knew that I wanted to come and study abroad here. And it just so happened that my interests ended up merging perfectly with that future. And I think study abroad in itself is an opportunity that really allows students to explore their capacity of applying what they've actually learned in the classroom. I think a lot of people discuss study abroad as an opportunity to expand one's culture and fully integrate yourself in another situation that's not totally known, which I totally agree with. But I think even more so for me, this experience has showed me what I've learned in the classroom can be directly applied to real world scenarios, and how can I strengthen both of those through experiential learning.
Yeah, I think I've talked with many students who have studied abroad and who want to study abroad, and it seems like there is just this unique aspect of going to a place where you completely leave your comfort zone and apply the knowledge that you've obtained through campus. Why do you think that's such a valuable experience for students to have?
I think that it's honestly valuable because you get set into a routine when you're at school, which I think is very helpful for a routine of studying and taking tests. But sometimes you almost might lose sight of exactly why you're studying those things. And I think study abroad itself is kind of an opportunity to regain why you're passionate about what you're passionate about and kind of forge new passions through the original ones. And I don't mean to tokenize the experience and say that it's, life-changing, because I think that it is what you make it out to be. And so it is different things for different students. But I think that it would be a lie to say that it didn't shift my own worldview. And I think for me that was the reason that study abroad, I didn't expect it to open my eyes in the way that it has, but it has allowed me to understand the reasons that I spent so many hours in, man library until 2 a.m. studying. It has allowed me to understand why I spent hours battling with specific theorists. It shows me how different things that I've learned can actually be really applied and examined within, this real world experience. And I think another thing is you're being exposed to people who have different academic knowledge than you. I'm working with university students here who are coming from a whole different lens of knowledge, a whole different lens of education. And that experience in itself has been really meaningful to collaborate with other students from different universities and different languages. That's an opportunity you can't do on your own campus.
Absolutely. That is right on, and that seems to be the consensus with students who do study abroad. If you're just joining us, we are talking with Tamar Law, who you are hearing but not seeing. She is in Madagascar, and she's studying abroad there. Interestingly enough, Tamar, I imagine there's probably somebody in Man Library studying right now.
I'm sure.
Or at least attempting to, maybe in the middle of a nap right now. But
'tis the season.
I'm in Warren Hall right now. I could probably look out a window and let you know, but
oh boy,
I'd have to get up. So, so let's talk a little about, it is Giving Day. There's no shortage of opportunities to support things at Cornell philanthropically. Why would you make, what kind of case would you make for why people should support study abroad opportunities for students?
Well, I think, as I have said before, it's an incredible experience that you really just can't get on campus. And I think that's kind of the tagline that's always applied to abroad. But until you're kind of really there, you don't really understand that fully. I also think that it is important to understand that Cornell has its own selection of courses of abroad programs, but they're limited. And the ability to explore, I'm in a non-Cornell abroad program. And I think that there's a reason that there should be funding for students to go beyond what Cornell itself has to offer. And I think Cornell has been very helpful in helping me find the program and connect me with it. And I think that's something that should be examined and aided financially if possible. Yes, that would be my answer for why study abroad needs to be supported. I think it's an experience that is truly valuable, and I believe that every student, there's always kind of the joke that the biology majors, the engineers, they can't go abroad because they don't have time because of major requirements. And I was very lucky in the major that I have. College Scholar is very flexible, so I was able to kind of form and mold my own and manipulate my own course so that I was able to go abroad. But I really do think that we need an ability to have everybody have an experience that's like this. And financially, that's not an option for a lot of students who need to be done in 4 years. And there are more and more programs sprouting up for students who want to continue doing, a more traditional track of a biology major or an engineering major, but abroad. And I think, I know somebody who did the Spain program in engineering, and I think those types of programs, even if you're still taking the same courses, you're in a different place. And that kind of lights up in you a whole new different part of, your cerebral cortex. You're just completely inundated with new experiences. And I think that will, even if you're not studying, I'm here and I'm studying myself, what I want to study, but even if I'm studying my own major that I'm making up, I'm able to have that flexibility here within my program. But even if I wasn't, just being here and interacting with people would be enough to still kind of set off that internal fire. So I think that I think financially supporting study abroad so that every student who wants to have that capacity and wants to be able to do that without having to give up, something else would be an incredible thing to do.
Yeah, I think that's as good of a plug as I could imagine for why you should support that. I think it clearly has a profound impact on students, both during their time, seems to serve them well long term. So, and I think a lot of people might not realize how not only do students have to frequently pay out of pocket for some of these abroad opportunities, a lot of the abroad trips are mandatory for certain majors or minors. And we've talked to students in the past who might be a little bit hesitant to take on a minor that requires them to travel because they're worried about being able to pay for it. So
absolutely,
certainly these are outstanding opportunities, very, very impactful. And so Giving Day is a perfect day to get behind some of these programs and support students abroad at Cornell. Well, Tamar, I think we're going to let you go now. Thanks so much for making the effort to find a Wi-Fi signal and to join us and enjoy that what sounds like freshly ground coffee.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Have a good nighttime there, I guess.
Yes, about 2:40 a.m. now, so we're well, I won't say we're almost at sunrise because that's still a ways away.
Well, good luck and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Continued best of luck down there in Madagascar, and we'll see you back in Ithaca soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Tamar Law, class of 2017, and coming to us live from Madagascar. As we check in, right before we sign off, we'll check in and let you know that we are at 347 gifts and raised $94,076. So closing in on that $100,000 mark as we approach about 2:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be back at 3:30, as previously stated, with Emily Shearer from London. Glad we could get Tamar in there. Sounds like she's doing some really impressive stuff down in Madagascar. One of the thousands of Cornell students we should all be very proud of. All right, we will be back at 3:30. We'll see you then.